Good evening, everyone. It is good to see you, and it is good to be seen by you. Welcome to the show. I, of course, am the one and only Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud and clear from an undisclosed location somewhere in the swamps of Central Florida. How the heck are you? I hope you're doing just absolutely well. And boy, we have the regular rogues gallery out there in audience land. Wave of Mutilation, Jeff, the greatest dungeon master alive, Bob, Jester, Finn, Fish, Jorge, Yorib. Let's see who else is out there. We've got, I think that's it for right now. Speaking up, Tolemicus, good evening to you. Darth Brooks, hello, hello. Bastille Lungborough, hello. I think this is your first time checking in with us. Kyle Johnson, checking in. Erudite DM, greetings, greetings. Guys, thank you all very much for electing to tune in tonight to the Delver's Dungeon. And let me tell you something. If you're sitting there and you're watching, oh, RPG Grandma, good. If you're sitting here watching and you haven't already hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications, please take a moment to do that now. When you do that, you can find out all about upcoming live streams, the little newsy interstitial content that we like to do around here, all the videos, and it's just the best way to keep up on all the things that are happening here. And the channel's grown a little bit lately here. So welcome if you're one of the new subscribers, and welcome back to the old subscribers. RPG Grandma says I'm on the big screen TV. So am I touching the corners? Anyway, but that's awesome. That's awesome. Whether you watch us on a phone, on a computer, on a laptop, tablet, big screen TV. I even had a lovely subscriber send me a photo she took of her watching us on her Nintendo Switch, which was really cool because the screenshot she grabbed, it was zoomed in on some Dwarven Forge, which we use terrain and miniatures sometimes in our games, and it looked like just a really high-end video game playing on her Switch. It was quite nice. You're checking out my paints, my lower left. Paints in the lower left. I don't. Oh, that's just a can of sealant over there. That's not actual paints. Frank's 2,000-inch TV. Just found this today. Most of original D&D, some first edition and second, is available for download. Yes, all of that is Wizards of the Coast IP, and it is all available on DriveThruRPG or at Wizards of the Coast D&D Beyond. DM's Guild. That's it, DM's Guild. So Jack Neller, good to see you. It's been a hot minute, Jack. How are you? So maybe you're one of those folk who is new to hanging out with us here. Let me tell you what exactly it is that we do here on Tuesday nights when we play first edition D&D. Guys, you might be thinking, okay, well, he's going to sit there and run a D&D game, and it's, he's like grasping for that vibe of other more successful, bigger things. Guys, we are playing first edition AD&D. The die rolls determine what happens tonight. We don't do table reads. We don't do script writing sessions. We don't do story arcs. None of that. None of that. We actually play first edition AD&D exactly by the book, and the dice determine what's going to happen at any given moment. Okay, the dice do. You guys will see them rolled as clearly as we'll see them rolled, So there's not going to be any, oh, well, you survived. Ha ha ha. We play real D&D. And I want this to be a learning experience for you. Maybe you have a question about first edition AD&D for whatever reason. For whatever reason. I want you to ask those questions. I want you to ask those questions in the chat. I will do my darndest to answer those questions insofar as I can without bringing the game to a crashing halt. But, and this is important, if I miss your question, one of the players, one of our fine many players who game with us tonight, they may jump in and answer that question for you, or for me rather. They'll answer your question for you in my stead, or somebody in the audience might know the answer to your question, because guys, I have not only the best looking, but the smartest audience of any 5-night-a-week classic TTRPG live streaming show on YouTube, and I'll kill on that hill. I'm not dying on that hill. I'm going to kill on it. If you're going to charge and try and knock me off, no, I'm not the one who's going to perish up there. So, I do want you to feel free to ask those questions, because again, it's a learning experience, guys. It's a learning experience. So, I'm going to slaughter Rambo style. Hey, I'm going to set up situations. The dice are going to determine what happens, right? So, Great Old One says, you're neither smart nor good looking. Yes, you are. You sit your butt down, Great Old Ones. You're here, aren't you? So we're waiting on a few people yet to join us in the green room so we can get rolling here. I'm looking forward to it. We've got a fairly stacked house this evening, but before we bring them on, before everybody filters in, let me tell you about our sponsors tonight, because our sponsors are me. That's right. Guys, if you're looking for some really kick-ass merch, some absolutely top-notch merch with the Delver's Dungeon logo on it, check out our Spring Store link in the comments below, because that logo that we have was designed by none other than a TSR alum and pioneer, really, of classic D&D art, Tracy Lesh. That's right. He's a friend of the show, a personal friend of mine. We really like Tracy a lot, and Tracy was kind enough to make our channel logo, for lack of a better, or well, my merch logo, I should say. And let me just show you guys. Let me, if you're not clicking on that link while we're waiting for folks to file into the green room, let me show you some of the merch we've got. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to do that. And this is probably the best one. Let's just break that out here real quick. So you can get this logo right here. You can get this absolutely boss logo inspired by the artwork for the original version of Dungeon board game published by TSR all the way back in 1975. This is an homage Tracy did to his original artwork there. And he remade that into a logo for the show. So you can go follow the link to the Spring Store. You can get stickers, canvas prints, t-shirts, hoodies, pint glasses. This rocks. I figured, okay, well, he'll do like a flaming skull, or like a sword or a goblin or something. No. He brought the thunder with this one, and I absolutely love it. You guys really, really, really should grab yourself some Delver's Dungeon merch and then tell people that you represent. You're going out there to represent. So I hope you will consider doing that. And also, but wait, there's more. Now, this is not linked below, but the other thing that the show is brought to you by is Crom, the Character Record Organization Manager. Let me ask you something. Are you just getting started playing first edition AD&D? Are you coming back to it after a long time? Or maybe you've had campaigns going on for decades. What is the one thing that can trip you up as a DM if your party encounters them, or for you as a player to try and keep track of? It's characters. Whether you call them an NPC or a PC, it's characters. Crom brings 1978 into 2025. You can create any first edition player's handbook legal character, any class race combination. You want to make a human who can dual class from fighter into thief and then thief into bard or half elf for that matter, it will do it. Age your characters and watch the aging effects change their stats, change their alignment. Sell gems and jewelry, buy equipment. If your DM allows it, check to see if your character's got psionics at the start of their creation. It outputs in text, it outputs in HTML. It is a nice, compact little program for your 32 or 64-bit Windows, 8, 8.1, 10, and 11 platforms. And it runs on Linux through Wine. If you've got an old school character sheet and you're like, this thing, I can hold it up and see through it, I'm worried about losing it, preserve that sucker in Mylar and port him over to Crom, because in addition to the 4 allowed methods of character creation for first edition, it also lets you input character stats manually. So you can just come in and port your character in, level them up, drain levels, do milestone leveling, or add XP. You got a multi-class character, Crom will properly split out the XP. Did your character get level drained? They will get level drained exactly the correct amount of hit points that you had for the level you lost. Guys, Crom is really the ultimate character management software. It's $25. You can drop me an email, reach out to me on social media, and I will absolutely positively hook you up with Crom. You need it at your table, guys. Count Zero says, port it over to what? Simply input your old paper character stats into Crom using the manual character entry method, level them up appropriately, and bam, you've got your character saved in text, in HTML, and you're good to go. You saved the magic user you played last year in Guat? Oh, Gonzalo, thank you very much. But Delver, I need to create many NPCs and characters in a short period of time, and I don't have time to give any F's about Unearthed Arcana. Can Crom do that? Absolutely, positively, Gonzalo. Absolutely, positively. All right. So, with that said, it is time to begin. We have all of our players are in the back room, and I'm about to bring them out now. So let me don my headphones, and we'll get right into this interlude in between A2 and what may lay beyond. So with that said, everybody, please, I want to bring on my awesome group of players. First up, we have Gonzalo is joining us. Gonzalo is playing Paul the Fighter, Paul the incredibly brawny feud fighter. I think this guy could sucker punch a stone giant. Everybody welcome Paul.
Christmas story. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
To quote A Christmas Story, truly a little bribe never hurt.
Indeed, indeed. And of course, next up, we have a great guy. He's got a YouTube channel here. You can find him at Timothy Imholt. This guy, he covers art, comics, RPGs, history, novels, current events, all kind of cool stuff over on his channel at Timothy Imholt. Everybody, welcome Tim as Walt the Magic User. Tim, how are you? He's mute.
Okay, now I'm here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Tuesday night game where our goal is to lay down the boogie and play that funky music till somebody dies.
Something you guys have been very successful at as of late. And speaking of cool YouTube channels, everybody put your hands together for a guy, again, another cool YouTube channel. It's history, little bit of RPG stuff, definitely worth your time. And you can find him at D and Disability here on YouTube. Everybody welcome Thane Kyle as the cleric holder. TK, how are you?
I promise the D&D stuff will come back eventually, once the rabid college students have been fed.
It's all good, man. It's all good. We look
Just
forward
throw
to
ramen
it
noodles at him, man. It's all good.
Alrighty. And, you know, it may not be everybody, but certainly tonight somebody will be kung fu fighting. And that, of course, is Pon, the human monk, played by Kevin. Kevin, how are you, sir?
Am I working?
Yes.
I had my primary PC failed 10 minutes ago.
Oh,
So
no.
this is my Linux secure PC, and I don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Well, it's working just fine. So there we
I got
go.
lucky.
Yes. And last and absolutely not least, because we definitely need to get this show on the road, everybody, please welcome yet another YouTube sensation here in the TTRPG space. He's got a very cool channel about the wisdom and some deep lore about first edition AD&D. You can find him at Doom Swords or at Doom's Words on YouTube. Everybody, please welcome Doomsword Deathmaster as Durek Donagard. Dooms.
Hey, what's up?
You, man, you. All right. So last week, everyone, you had arrived at a keep that was located on a Borderlands type area. You have brought the convoy of the beleaguered, the disenfranchised, the broken at the hands of the slave lords. You journeyed to the west at the urgings of a merchant named Throckmorton, who said he had a great reward for you in store further to the west, but perhaps, and this is entirely up to you lot to decide, perhaps you do not wish to journey all the way to Haven Hill, Hill with an I, not hell with an E, in the Principality of Ulek. But you are currently at the keep. The residents at the keep, under the watchful eye of the town guard, are doing their best for the refugees, and you are approached by the castellan, who regards you well and says, who then among you is the captain of this doughty band that has brought these refugees to the keep's walls?
I point at Nundagar.
Okay.
And he steps forward a half step. I'm afraid it is I, whether I would choose so or not.
Well, say on. This is quite the motley band that you brought here into this keep, but I can assure you, if you can vouchsafe their good behavior, then they are welcome here. Tell me.
What? Apologies, Lord.
No. Tell me, what bringest thou hence?
Have you heard rumors of slaves traveling, or slavers rather, and slaves, I suppose, traveling north and south along those southern roads
Indeed, they have struck the eastern borders of the principality itself. His Majesty had a great conclave many months ago, and we decided that we must fortify the borders. So what was once a watchful presence on the borderland has now again begun to have to gird itself for war or worse incursions from the Pomars.
And there you have it. We are under the employ of good men, not perfect men, but good. And we have sacked the slavers' stockade, and what you see before you are the refugees we have retrieved from within.
It's right about then when a fellow in priestly vestments, all of you can see he very clearly has the prominent starburst emblem of the Church of St. Cuthbert, the Church of St. Cuthbert, makes his way through the crowd. There's a couple of similarly outfitted acolytes, likely handing out bread and water and such to the refugees, attending to any sores or minor hurts. Not that you guys let them get injured, or there's blisters and they were not precisely well treated by the slavers. Anyway, he strides forward and he extends his hand in salute to the castellan and says, "Well, I can't speak for their overall cleanliness, but they seem to be mostly healthy. It seems to be tired feet and empty bellies. You could expect worse from a lean traveling caravan of merchants. I make it that they are in good health, castellan." And this fellow, by the way, is very robust. He's got a big, bushy black mustache and beard.
If no one else says anything, Paul says, "They've been enslaved for some long period."
Indeed they have, and of course they have been taken well care of by our valorous group of adventurers, if you would.
There's more spiritual harm here probably than physical harm.
Well, also keep in mind, I've been casting probably 4 spells a day every day to keep this lot fed, including you.
Yes.
And pardon any unintended offense, brother from another father. Is there a shrine or a temple to Fortis within this astounding keep?
As the chaplain of the keep, I have my writ and orders from the cathedral at Haven Hill. The faithful of Fultus are not unwelcome to pray neath the roof of the followers of the billet. And if you having committed such a valorous deed, and your allies, I can only presume where's Holder while this is going on, by the way, TK?
I'm still tending to the slaves, or former slaves, as I would be. These human conversations have little love for me.
All right, so you're milling around with them. Okay, so he does not precisely see you, but he says, "I can presume then that you are all Fultian believers."
Yes.
I am indeed.
I have no quarrel
across the Asher Sea.
I have no quarrel with the Church of St. Cuthbert. It's a noble tradition known far and wide.
The forces of law, the forces of good and law, and the following of the straight and narrow path should not have any quarrel with one another. Certainly there are shall we say, more easily distracted faiths, but where the billet meets the overly hard head, we must all come to agreement that the vanquishing of evil is the primary goal of us all. And so, insofar as your beliefs are not wholly pagan or apostate, you are welcome to pray in the church of St. Cuthbert.
Many thanks.
I will raise a thumb. I will raise my thumb from amongst the McRout.
Okay.
I'm going to aside to Durek and say, do you mind striking up the relationship with the head of the Church of St. Cuthbert here? I'm thinking of looking into establishing some relationships with some of the soldiers and keep leadership.
Funny that, Paul. I was just going to ask you what the play was here. I can certainly do so.
I think that you have more in common, and you can establish a better contact than I can. And I think I might have a little more in common with the soldiers here. I plan on distributing some coin and some barrels of ale, and attempt to ingratiate myself with the common soldiers and their leadership here. It can't hurt in the long run.
Have at with unreserved gusto. If nothing else, I will bore them with proper scripture.
You are quite up to that challenge, my friend. I have no doubt. So I am going to look for a sergeant or someone, not an officer. I'm looking for an enlisted man who I can strike up a conversation and bring up what I talked about. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, so the sergeant who actually went and fetched the castellan at the behest of the captain is probably the highest ranking, lowest ranking person there. The rest just seem to be the regular soldiery. They're kind of, you don't get the impression that like, you know, they're going to lower the pike on anyone who in this group who maybe wanders out, but there are a good 5 or 6 of them in kind of a rough circle around the group as they're being seen to. It might be more for more out of curiosity than out of any order, but you do see the sergeant there.
And I'll approach him once we are sort of moving on with things. Whenever I have the chance, I don't know what other people want to do, but when I have the chance, I'm going to approach him and discuss, a round of kegs of ale for everyone here, and also what the captain or superiors might appreciate in terms of spoils as tribute to the keep.
So wait, you're asking him that, like what?
Yes,
he would
I'm
like?
asking the
Okay,
sergeant. I'm asking this. I'm telling the sergeant I
Okay.
plan to give them kegs of ale, and I'm asking him his opinion on how I can offer an appropriate tithe to just the military leadership here, not everything.
Okay, and what is your charisma?
Oh, I was afraid you're going to ask me that. I think it's 14. Yes, 14.
Okay, 14. So yeah, you do get a little bit of a bonus off of that. And he scratches his chin and says, well, sir, I mean there are regular monthly financial levies and so on and etc. But I don't think the lads and I would object if you the officers, of course, permitting, sir.
Yes,
I must
fully
clear.
understand.
I must clear this up the ladder of command to tap a to tap a cask with us.
maintenance of the keep here. If it wasn't for this, we would not have a place to return to from the wild. And I want to make it clear that we really appreciate your efforts here. You're the real heroes. I don't say that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, he is appreciative of your gesture.
I don't need to know his name. I'm not going to make you come up with an NPC name if you don't have one. But I tell him my name. I'm Paul, and so I establish a passing relationship with the guy.
Oh, no. It's okay. I have the official book of coming up with Greyhawk names, Pop Lollies and Belly Bones by Susan Kells Sperling, which is the same one that Gary used to come up with all his Greyhawk names. So give me a moment.
Yeah. So I'm like, what's this NPC's name? And Bill is like, oh, okay, we can play that game. Here's the name you have to write down and remember.
Fatful Dwemercraft, what's a good adjective there?
The 12.
Apple Crabble Bottom.
Yeah. It's a cool book.
Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
All right, let's see. So this is
Who's the guy from Dragon's Lair that died all the time?
Dirk the Daring.
Dirk the Daring.
This is Brule Flurk. Broolflerk. BROOLFLERK. I'll type it in the chat.
If you didn't,
By the way, guys, this is not unobtainium. Pop Lollies and Belly Bones. You can get this on Amazon or find it through used book resellers. But if you've ever wondered, like Gleep Warp the Eye Biter, what was Gary smoking? Nothing. It's a bunch of old humorous words from Shakespearean and earlier times that are listed and given definitions.
However, that doesn't mean Gary wasn't smoking something. That just means he got it from the book.
Be nice. All right, so I will type.
Two things aren't mutually exclusive.
And so, I mean,
just ask your college professor.
Give everybody else an opportunity, whatever they do, whatever they want to do. But I think we want to get some lodging and carry out some banking to reduce our weight. And I don't know, whatever anyone else wants to do. I don't want to over talk too much. And
I don't think we should be staying here too long. I mean, I don't necessarily think we're going to level here. This would count as a safe place for how much treasure we've got. Before we reduce anything, we should at least divide the treasure nominally amongst ourselves, so those of us get XP.
Yes.
Just so that we don't, lose track of XP.
Absolutely.
Totally.
And we can have an ale.
Yes, but
and that stuff must be properly evaluated for value. Brother of the cudgel, might we continue to converse? I'm sure that you're a very busy man, of course. I greatly appreciate your company.
Sure. Oh, and this is, by the way, Kyle Johnson, rather, out there asked. So this is, that is a title of the book I just put in there for you, Kyle. And there you go. Title and author. And yes, he turns to you and says, yes, my son.
I would like to continue to converse with you if it befits you, given your rather most certainly busy schedule.
Of course. Would you care to discuss it in the rectory?
Indeed. I would love to see your fabulous rectory, or rather St. Cuthbert's fabulous rectory, of course.
Paul and Holder, do you want to accompany me to see if we can get some lodging and figure out the coin and what we want to do here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and somebody's got to make sure that cart's under control. I'm gonna go talk to these guys and get whatever lay of the land and brewings of storm tidings and stuff that they can give me.
Okay.
I wanted to see about getting our hands on that stuff goes, but that's about it. But really, what I was trying to say was that I still need like over 40,000 XP to level, so I'm not super worried about taking much in the way of treasure, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, unless we're gonna leave that stuff, here, there's there's no point in splitting up like 30,000 coins that are sitting on. I'm not carrying that stuff. I'll just give it to the poor or something.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Is like I think if we split it and then even just bank it here or whatever, I don't see why we can't just split it up amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Put it all back on the cart, and it should still count as ours individually. It's just on the cart.
Right.
You know?
You're talking about stockade ball stuff specifically, right? So
That's fine. Yeah, I mean
yeah.
that we either throw it in the stockade and we get XP, or we keep it on the cart and we get XP, and then we store it in a bank somewhere else eventually. Either or. I just I don't want to lose track of the numbers.
Yeah, right. Well, you got 8 uncut sapphires and 1 uncut ruby, and then there's 2 coffers that have been unopened, and then you've got a golden ruby necklace and a pair of golden earrings, and then a jar with a weird amulet and a mahogany case with a crystal coin-like object within.
And I still have 1,500 silver pieces and 2 random pieces of jewelry, which I don't know are from where, but I know I have them, and they were from the module. I just don't remember like when I got them. And those have just been like living on my character.
I will say that you may want to mention, Durek, the amulet that we found on the unusual elf.
Yes.
When you're talking to the Church of St. Cuthbert. I have it if you want to take it for that conversation, but you know what it looks like.
Yeah. I think that I'd rather converse with them, and
Sure.
then that way where we differ on matters of law versus chaos, I can remain straight-faced and honest.
I'll guard the cart if you guys want to go and do your stuff.
Okay. I mean,
Somebody comes after it, I could fireball. It's outside, right?
a fireball going off in the keep on the Borderlands. I don't know that anyone's ever done that.
So, Paul,
I'll take the castellan on one-on-one. I challenge you to a duel, sir.
wait, we've got Pon, who's a monk, and what was the new spellcaster's name? Walt?
Walt.
Okay. Walt, Pon, are you allowed? I'm not familiar with your order. Are you allowed alcohol?
Sure.
I could drink alcohol.
Yeah,
I just have to be careful with what I acquire. I only am allowed to keep what I can use to sustain myself.
It sounds like drinks are the order of the evening here. Let's go and brag about our exploits and spend coin freely and impress the local population.
All right. So at the Black Horse Tavern, there's already people gathering in anticipation of you showing up there. And you observe like guildsmen and smiths and stuff occasionally dragging apprentices out, hey, get back to work. I know this has broken the monotony, but we've still got to. But there's still a good number of people in there. You notice that there's it's not in good shape, but there's a rather large jar that has a monster's head in brine in it.
Interesting. You should mention heads.
Displayed prominently in a cabinet. Also, there's kind of it's almost shrine-like in a semicircle around it. There are some fairly skillfully rendered paintings. Most of them look like ordinary if heroic folk, but there is one mean looking half orc. I mean, there's no mistaking it. This is not like the 90%, or rather the 10% that pass it. No, this is firmly in that. Yeah, that guy's a half orc. So yeah, apparently whoever these people were, they had something to do with the severing of heads. And speaking of heads, go ahead there, Paul.
Paul will stride to the bar and spend freely of coin. I assume, given the amount of coin we have, you'll tell me what I owe, and we have enough to cover it. I mean,
Okay.
unless you want me to get into accounting right now.
No, but I mean, as far as alcohol, they have ale, small beer, wine, and honey mead.
What time of year is it?
It's this time of year. It is late. It is late in the summer. It is
Honey mead it is then.
all right. Well, the honey mead begins to flow. There's a lovingly polished, I mean, to a mirror finish. You can make out your details, your facial details if you lean in close. Brass bell hanging above the bar, and he rings that and starts pouring the mead for you guys.
Honey mead for everyone, I think.
Okay, yeah, he gives it another ring, and he says a good bit of bitter cheese to go with that honey mead, then, my lord.
Why, thank you. Yes.
All right. So he steps in the back, and quick as a flash, he's out with a wheel that has been pre-cut. There are many wedges in it, and you see hands just coming in and taking wedges and so on. But there's still plenty to go around. Folks are leaning in, hoping to catch just a bit of a story, of news from the road, or what have you. So
Fun fact,
that is what's going on in the end. I'm sorry, what was that, TK?
Fun fact, I just put up 2 gallons of mead.
Oh, excellent. What kind?
Blackberry and blueberry.
Ooh, sounds nice.
Did you bring enough for everyone?
Well, it's 2 gallons. That would be plenty for the 6 of us.
I don't know. I think Eric is going to drink that all by himself.
Hey, indeed.
That's one for me, and then you guys can divide the other gallon.
So just to be clear, it's myself and Pawn and Walt and Holder at the bar, correct?
That is my understanding. Your men at arms are watching the cart. So yeah, they kind of nudge you, Walt, and it's like, you can go along with the captains, my lord. We'll watch this lot. So, presuming that no one has any objections, you're there in the inn, and what news from the road? You say you come down from the Pomarch. What are they really amassing an army of goblins and trolls to invade the principality?
I can't speak to goblins and trolls as an army. I said, but we've freed some 90 men and women who were held slaved at the outpost, at the stockade. But we've encountered a new kind of potential enemy and threat that is concerning to us. And I'll say this is an enemy who cast spells of darkness upon us and fled at battle. But we did take this, and I'll pull out the drow head and hold it up.
Okay, there are gasps, and some people make like holy signs with their hands at it and that sort of thing. Someone asked, "Why did you paint it that sort of dark ashen color? Was the elf such a hated enemy that you had to stain their skin thus?"
This is their nature.
What? Oh, you jape at us, sir.
I hold it out. Touch. Look. They come from.
Pull its hair.
They seem to come from the depths beneath the earth and have a taste for slaves, especially slaves from above ground.
Okay, nobody wants to, and nobody wants to touch it, and people are like, look, we get it. We're, my lord, we are bucolic here, but really, elves that live underground and whose skin is ashen black, that I think that's a bit much. Ho, bartender, are you spiking his ale with whiskey? And a peal of laughter goes up.
Paul laughs along with him. He's not going to argue with him. He's like, and he's just like, all right, and just puts it away.
Yeah. Somebody calls out. Oh, maybe you can ask the taverner to pickle it. Perhaps in time you'll get your faces up on the wall like the heroes of the caves. And ragged cheer, laughter goes up. It's generally it's a good mood there in the tavern. Now, did Dirk go straight back to the chapel with the curate, or
that was his intention?
Okay,
yes.
So let's shift focus over there just for a minute, so you don't have to sit there in silence. What is oh, we lost somebody. All right, so hopefully Kevin will be able to bop back on. There he is. Pawn used his special monk abilities to leap off of the broadcast and then back on.
That's damn
Taekwondo leap.
35% chance of success.
So anyway, Durek, you are back at the or not back at, but you travel on past the tavern, and you go to the chapel with the curate, who invites you in, and bids you sit next to his table in the rectory.
I'll certainly do so.
He pours a couple of clay cups of wine, and he's got a white loaf already, cuts off a piece, slides it to you. Now, come, brother, tell me, what has a paladin of Foltus set his mean against?
Well, it is an evil most foul, I must tell you. I was called from across the Azure Sea for my orders and on wall. But I heard the calling of Foltus, and I felt compelled, as of course anyone would, particularly a devout appointee, if you will. I found employ, and then traveled southward. Our employers, they're all the same, with the exception of perhaps Walt and Pawn, who were found within the keep. Our employers seem to be generous men and of a disposition that is most caring of others. We traveled down to the slaver stockade, and it took many sorties into the place in order to clear it out. When we finally did, beast most foul did egress the location. However, we left behind the most stalwart of the slaves to guard the place. We hail, at least at this point, from Barnacus, which is where our patron resides, and the stockade has been sacked, and we left behind a guard. We have no way to reach them at this point, for we traveled with a merchant, Throckmorton, who was going to take us further south to the Principality of Lula. And that is about the extent of our story. I wonder what knowledge have you of this very threat?
Well, we have heard stories from those fleeing from the east and from the south, that the usual kidnappings and depredations of raiders had increased in their ferocity and in in their grasping hunger. Whole coastal villages were sacked, I have heard, along the wild coast. That news reached our ears. Fortunately, our border here on with the Pomarge has remained fairly strong. But you say you sacked an entire fortress of these slavers, and these poor wretches that you brought hence, um, they are victims of this perfidy. Well, I must say, any ecumenical rivalry aside, my friend, you and he raises a cup. You have done a knight's job in your efforts. The blessings, the blessings of your Foltus and the blessings of the saint, both be upon you.
Aye. And thank you, my good brother Carrot. I only did what must be done, and it was the light of Foltus that guided me. But I'm sure you know that.
Of course.
I believe we're in a situation where we know not precisely what to do. I told the men of these slaves who were willing to guard the fortress against eventual incursion, their bravery was something to behold. I had not seen such bravery, in fact. I must notify them soon of our eventual arrival to wherever it is that we are going. And I know not how to do so without traveling back against our track. But I wish to pursue the slavers as closely and as intently as possible. For you see, there was what appeared to be an intensely wicked woman. A woman seemed to be at least in charge of this particular enclave of whatever slave trade goes down beneath the light of goodness. Have you heard of such a thing?
Well, evil can walk in the form of man or woman, or beast for that matter. The waves of chaos and evil can corrupt even the fairer sex. I must say it's a most unfortunate situation when that happens. But if you say that they have such a beguiling witch in their employ, and she has slipped through your grasp to wreak more evil upon the world, or if she answers to higher, even more vicious powers, then you must set yourself upon her tail and trail. He says trail. You must set yourself upon her trail and end her savagery as soon as you can. I just want to answer real quick. Libya Martins asked, what adventure are they playing? We're between A2 and A3, and where these modules are located and where I've located the keep on the borderlands in my Greyhawk campaign are proximate. So the party has found themselves at the keep on the borderlands a few years after the Caves of Chaos have already been sacked. So this is a relatively safer spot. I hope that answered your questions, Livio.
Your wisdom knows no bounds, brother. For it is the same thing I am thinking, and both are divinely inspired. However, we are not aware of what resources you might have available to assist in this mission, should you choose to do so. For you see, we have a cart that's overladen. We have pack animals. We have mercenaries. We have refugees. We have much that must be attended to. We have a stockade to the west that is out of communication now, lest we ride 14 days in that direction, 14 to 20, depending. And we have Barnacus, and our patrons know not of our success or failure.
Well,
do you have any recommendations?
Well, obviously you cannot carry these poor people hither and yon in your quest, regardless of what it is. They must find rest, and then they must be repatriated to wherever it was that they were abducted from. But in the interim, I suppose, given the circumstances, I could talk to the castellan beseech him to allow them to stay until such time as we can comport them back to where they need to go, or find some refuge or shelter for them. Of course, we are a frontier keep, and such would put a bit of a burden upon our resources here. If there were some way that we could not strain our own sometimes scant resources a bit, perhaps.
Say no more, brother. I speak not for my companions often, but when I do, I'm quite certain that most of us would agree. I will, of course, speak to them. If it's financial resources you need, I believe we can come to an agreement. And if it's human resources that you need, perhaps we can achieve an accord that's beneficial to us both. However, of course, you must understand that I would also ask you what you can offer to us. For our decisions are very weighty. And again, I am not certain what to do.
All right, so your charisma 17 or 18?
17, sir.
17, okay. Oh, did you guys hear that? I got a knighthood right here on the air. Thank you, Dooms. All right, let me see. What one of these is a die roller. There we go. All right. All right, and so is that a plus? I got to see this here.
I can tell you right now, it's a reaction adjustment plus 30%.
I thought I couldn't remember if it was 30 or 35. Okay, so he listens to your proposal, for lack of a better term, and says, well, I think that we can come to an agreement. We can set aside any spiritual differences, and as far as assistance, now that the threat of attack by monstrous beasts directly here upon the keep is lessened somewhat, and I can focus my spells themselves to healing and such, perhaps this, he steps up. You can't quite tell what he's doing. He's manipulating a stone sculpture on the wall. You hear kind of a grinding sound, and then a clapping sound like of stone meeting, and he turns around and he's holding a vial in his hand. He's got a vial there, and he says, "Once may this draught be consumed, or thrice as individual tinctures, and it will give great surcease to any hurt that is laid upon you." Basically, it's a potion of extra healing he's offering.
You are too kind, brother. It is much appreciated. Do you think, have you the forces to make an excursion to the stockade and look after the men that we have left behind?
I must see to the spiritual well-being here in the keep, and that's deep in the Pomarge is beyond the ken for any not skilled and gifted at adventuring. What I can do is I can speak to the Lord Castellan and dispatch a courier as fleet as he can go, to Haven Hill. It's perhaps at most 3-day ride along the track to Haven Hill, and the prince himself may be able to send a force into the Pomarge. All this will take time, of course, but it is the best I can offer.
Indeed, good sir. It is more than I expected. Very well. Now, I must also let you know our companion Paul, forthright man, if perhaps a bit unguided or misguided, has beseeched that I shall ask you if you have any interest in the artifacts that we have found, for they portend ancient evil, I feel.
Well, then I would recommend that you and any amongst your group of adventurers who have seen or handled these should repair to the chapel proper, where we will be most protected by Cuthbert's embrace. Bring the items. Bring your friends. Let us examine them.
Very well. It may be on the morrow. I feel that I've kept you late enough. Would that be acceptable?
Of course, brother, and you haven't kept me too late at all. For indeed, one keeps one's feet on the path of righteousness as laid down by the saint. Keeping on this track is not a delay. It is not to slow down or to cause one to tarry. So you conduct what business you have with your allies, and I will inform the acolytes that you are to be brought to me at once when you are ready to discuss these items. Oh, and I might mention, just in passing, this is no deed or errand of mine, but despite the extirpation of the evil that lay in a group of caves in a ravine, perhaps a mile or two up the causeway. It is the very lessening of patrols caused by that extirpation, I think, that has led to a bit of trouble in the woods to the north and west of the keep. Nothing of any great danger. I think the castellan has been perhaps a bit overworked in administrative duties, but a traveler did pass by and said that by the light of the rising sun, he saw gossamer silver webs, some as thick as his fingers, in and amongst the trees in that direction. So if you should travel in that way, just have an eye.
Indeed, and you may pass this on to your castellan as well, for he is obviously a mighty ruler. We might gladly trade sword arm for some recompense in a portion of whatever aid you provide.
Of course, of course. Well, brother, on behalf of the Church of Saint Cuthbert of the Cudgel, I beseech you, follower Fultus, take then this tincture and use it in good health, and may it assist you.
Very well. Again, you are too kind, and I appreciate your audience more than you could imagine.
Of course, of course. He makes the clenched fist sign of Saint Cuthbert to you, and sits down to go about some paperwork.
Thank you. I'll put that potion on the sheet.
Okay. So all the players know you guys now have a potion of extra healing and a rumor of giant spiders somewhere near the keep.
Aren't they cute?
No blueberries, Tim. These are like the size of a Cooper Mini, and just want to suck you dry. So,
No comment.
yeah.
Sounds like my ex-wife.
I wasn't. All right.
So it sounds like we may have a side quest.
Kill them all. Let Foltest sort them out.
All right. So do you head back to your group straight away there, Jurek?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Paul is probably mildly buzzed, at least by this point.
Okay. So there's there's a moderately festive atmosphere in there. I mean, you've brought this ahead. Are you guys telling any tales of your adventures or anything like that? Are you just sitting and drinking? What's going on?
I can give a pretty good accounting of it, mostly since I'm the one in the back of the party, so I would have kind of seen pretty much everything. So I'll do myself to omit myself as much as humanly possible.
I thought they were wenching.
No. Paul will sit with a chair in front and listen enraptured to Holder's description of our exploits.
Okay. Holder. What is Holder's charisma?
It's not.
It's not. Okay.
I don't have a penalty, nor do I have a bonus.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. So, most everybody there, it seems to be that they're using this as an excuse to eat sharp cheese and drink honey mead on somebody else's dime. But you do have a small kind of core of people who are hanging on your every word. That like stop you, go back. Wait. So her face was beautiful, her voice was melodious, but she had snakes for hair and could turn you to stone, like in the legends. You saw one.
And she had, eyes the size of dinner plates and pointed teeth. Yes, all of that.
Oh yeah. People, like I said, this small core of people are just eating this up. So these greasy little halfling-like creatures could just pop out of nowhere and steal equipment and then pop away. That is, there's none of them in those in amongst those folk you brought in, are there?
No, but I'll tell them about the elemental I had to conjure to get rid of them.
That gets people's interest.
While he is telling the tale, I am scanning the crowd for people who appear to be not excited, but just listening in and maybe mentally taking notes. I'm just looking to see if there's anyone who's overly interested in the exact details of what we're doing.
There are, let's see here. These 7 people that are sitting closest to Holder are the ones who are paying the most attention, hanging on his every word. Again, they're stopping and they're asking him for more details. They're like, some of them have heard about the caves. One of them, like, well, I've heard that as a dare to become an apprentice to the blacksmith, you have to go to the old, and they say they're empty, caves up the causeway and bring back a bit of stone chipped out of one of the caves. So you're saying there were mazy caves underground like that you've explored? That sort of talk.
Sure.
That sort of talk.
I was really thinking more of anyone in a official capacity or I'm looking for a spy. I'm looking for spies. I'm looking for someone who is not emotionally invested in what we're doing, but seems to be deadpan, taking in what they're hearing. And I mean, I don't have any skill in this area. It's just role play.
Okay, sure. You're kind of keeping your eyes peeled. Let's see here. Roll a die for me. Roll a d10 for me, if you would.
Sure. If I can pull it up, a D10. Okay.
D10. No, you see all just kind of common folk here. There's this group that's invested in storytelling. Most everyone else is just kind of broken off, and they're kind of taking extended lunches at this point, early dinners almost. So
Not that interesting.
not it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these people remember the heady days a year or more ago when these adventurers whose pictures are apparently up on the wall in this shrine with this head in the jar, they were like, they would leave and come back multiple times a day with bags of treasure or hostages they'd rescued, or dragging their nearly dead companions with them, so on and etc. There was there was an incident with a halfling thief who went mad and had to be beaten and subdued by his companions. It was
I will try to find out about the head pickling, and because I feel like maybe that's going to have to happen with the drow head if I want to preserve it as proof of anything.
Yeah, so the bartender will gladly tell you. I mean, you're the best business he's had in a Sen night.
I think Holder and Durek are probably the only two people that know that entire party is dead.
That may be.
I was going to ask about it, but I decided against it.
Yeah, so yeah, he tells you, well, you need a large jar. You need vinegar, salt, and water.
Well, I ask him to do it. I'll pay him
to do it. Okay, yeah. What do you offer to pay him?
Well, I ask what he's asking.
Well, good vinegar and good pickle brine are not.
I mean, I would say for the time involved and the ingredients, and
it takes 10 minutes. Give him 2 gold.
I listen to Holder whispering in my ear, and I offer him 2 gold.
Let's see.
Pickling something really easy. You heat the you heat the liquid, dissolve the salt to make a brine, shove everything in, stick a weight on top, and seal it.
Yes, I did not spend decades cloistered somewhere to learn these things. I kill things.
I make pickles for fun.
Thank God you kill things.
Great.
You got a sick
Let's
and
go
twisted
kill some
version
stuff.
of fun, man.
All right, so yeah, well, you see, the thing, it's
4 gold.
It's a large glass jar that head has to fit in, and something like that, it's not cheap.
Okay, well, it sounds like I'm not meeting your basic needs to have this done, and I think this is very important. 10 gold.
Done. He holds his hands out for the sack.
Okay, I'm writing down what I've spent so it can be subtracted from my share when we split things up.
Pay him in pennies.
I see 10 gold at how many copper or gold?
I have silver pieces, but we'll pay in that. I want them off my sheet.
Okay. Hey, that's easier for him. But yeah, so he takes it and he carries it back into the kitchen and says I'll have to put a crock of water on.
I appreciate it, and well, I thank him.
All right. Okay, so Kevin, what is Pawn doing during all this?
He's drinking and actually listening, since he didn't actually participate in most of these little
yeah. So
expenditures.
your memory of that is you were praying, you were sitting by a stream, And then just a sack came down over your head, and so you're like,
Hoodwinked.
well, you know what? Before I go too far down saying you did this, you did that. Is Pon kind of the stereotypical Zen Buddhist monk kind of guy? Just very calmly takes it in until it's time to crush someone's skull
That's
with your bare
exactly.
hands?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He's the Shaolin monk type that he doesn't fight until it's time to fight, and then he reluctantly kicks the crap out of people.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So Pon was just sitting there, and then there's like a rough canvas bag with weights and locks and stuff pulled over you. And you're like, well, this is interesting.
Well, I'm not going to be bored.
Yeah.
What was he sitting upon?
A rock, actually. He was Pon a rock. Yeah. So you were brought to a place, and you could very clearly see many of the poor souls around you. They were being mesmerized by some vibrations emanating from a place directly in front of them. You focused, you centered yourself, and you just refused to let that energy overwhelm you. You knew it must have been some sort of tactic being used to try and subdue you. Still, even with your ability to resist it, you knew that it would be a futile gesture to try and attack all these people. So you just waited, and waiting paid off, because here you are with this new band of adventurers seeking to bring things back into balance, to make things right again. They have not met Robilar. Yes, Paul. They have not.
Is Roblar joining the party? Just asking.
Is Robilar in the room with us right now? Hello, worms.
Somebody should play his orc.
Get Kidge back in the game. You guys watch out. I'll try and get Rob Kuntz in here on a game one night. Rob will be schooling me. I'll just be well, screw it. I'm just gonna sit back and Rob will run the game. But anyway, so Wave asks if mages can have tarantula familiars. It is possible. It is possible for magic users. I think a spider is an option one, but I could be wrong.
I'm hoping we fight spiders so I can cast a web spell just for fun.
And the funny thing about web, and I'm glad you brought that up, Tim. So this actually came up in a discussion a while ago. So somebody said, does web affect spiders? I mean, now on the face of it, you would think, well, it's a web spell and they're spiders. Of course, it's not going to affect them. And yet, there's nothing in the Dungeon Master's Guide, there's nothing in the Monster Manual, and there's nothing in the Player's Handbook that says spiders aren't affected by a web spell. Now, I did tweak it just a little bit. If they make their save, they scuttle out. If they don't, they're as stuck as anyone else. Because the web is magical. It is thick. It's huge, right? So
plus I agree with that, and I will also say, and I actually went into it in a little bit of depth in my little pamphlet book. Spiders, as a matter of science, can be affected quite easily by others' spiders' webs.
I've always ruled that if the spiders are entering a square with webbing, they're unaffected, but otherwise can be affected.
Sure, because I mean, it's going to stick all over their bodies.
Well, yeah, I mean, like if they are intentionally walking into a square of magical webbing, like they're picking their path, right?
Well, the point is that spiders in nature can't even navigate other spiders' webs effectively. So how are they going to navigate magic? Right?
There's our answer, guys. There's
That's
our
fair.
answer. All right, adventurers. The day begins to draw to a close. the hale and healthy menfolk are being put up in haylofts. There's a couple of pavilion tents, probably for some kind of a festival or something like that have been set up for some of them. The women are the women and children, the few elderly are being given rooms in the inn. Since you guys are covering this, they're it's not a problem. One of the matrons cheerily tells you, "Oh, now that they're out of the clutches of evil, it's just like a fair. We'll the young ones. We'll just tell them. We'll try and soften this smite that has been laid upon them, and we'll make a grand time of it, my lairds."
What's the name of the tavern again?
Oh, it's just the Travelers Inn.
Okay.
So it is informally called the Black Horse.
Or
Okay.
the Pop Lollies and Buffalo Bones, if you must know.
Paul will speak to the tavern owner about arranging for a keg for each platoon in the city, and ask him, just let him know that he's interested in that. He's waiting to clear it with the leadership first, but that's something he's interested in providing.
Okay. Well, he is quite pleased by that, and in the interim, since he had the time, you now have a freshly pickled drow head. Its weight is the equivalent of 100 gold pieces. I will say, though, that its bulk, because think of even an elven head that's probably a little bit more childlike, you're still talking about a jar that's maybe half again as large as a coffee can. So as
I tell him, I thank him, and I say, now I'd like to talk about you renting the head for use in your tavern, because let me tell you, in the future, this is going to be a very impressive thing. No one has ever seen these creatures before.
Oh, well, he leans in conspiratorially. Most of the folk have left, except for maybe a few who are still hoping to get a story from Holder, or if Pawn is talking to people, Pawn people will speak to you. He leans in conspiratorially and says, "I don't know what kind of elf this is, sir, but 'tis no grease paint or ash on it. That is its skin color. You spake truly."
Yes, and this is possibly a threat that may threaten to keep, and it is a trophy worth tales and worth keeping drinks flowing at a tavern, in my opinion.
As well, of course, sir, and you've been more than generous. If you wish to leave it sitting here on the end of the bar,
that's fine too. I don't need payment, but it would have been nice. But I don't need payment. But if you'll keep it here for me with the promise not to let it go anywhere.
Oh, of course, yeah. It'll stay here nice and safely, sir. And I mean, as far as payment,
No, enough said. You don't even need to tell me. I understand. Keep it here as a trophy and protect it.
As a matter of fact, if I might interrupt, and I apologize, my half orc in the original assault on the Keep of the Borderlands, which led to this, left a head in a jar at this very bar, I think.
Oh yeah, everyone sees it. There's portraits of that original B2 party It's set up. It's like, it's like you go into the sports bar. They got like a football signed by all the Jets, and there's like Joe Namath's portrait, and everybody else is around there. I just picked a name, Tim. Oh, I know. They've got a portrait of all the Cowboys who've been in a Super Bowl in the last 15 years. Oh.
And all the fans who won nothing by watching them.
My science professor was a Bears fan when I was in college, and he came in so happy when they won their one game of the season. It was great.
Yeah, they had some pretty brutal down seasons. They did. But yes, I love the Bob Swirsky's skits on SNL from the 90s. Those were peak. Those were absolutely peak. Namely because I went a couple of times with my wife's husband to get some takeout at a Chicago themed sports bar in my neck of the woods, and oh my God, it was Swirsky's.
Wait, you're with your wife's husband?
I was wondering too.
Sorry, my sister's husband.
I wasn't going to say nothing, but thankfully my companions brought it up.
My sister's wife's brother's ex-roommate.
My wife's boyfriend told me to get into crypto.
My brother's, sister's, nephew's, cousin's
sit
roommate.
in the chair. All right.
The destroyer.
All right. So, yeah, that is taken care of. If there's anything else you guys wish to do in the evening, that is that does not entail any dice rolling or anything. It goes fairly smoothly. I don't think we need to roll city encounters. You bump into a demon strolling through the keep.
Or can I open the door? And as I open the door to the tavern, lightning strikes behind me, illuminating the back and leaving shadow over my face.
Let's see. No.
Bummer.
But it's nice that you asked.
The only thing I want to see is the clerics for a case of healing potions. That's about it.
Dooms, I don't know if Dirk told the party that he got a potion of extra healing.
Yeah. Once I got there, and I was going to mention that
Okay.
it comes in cases. I'll take one.
Right.
You know, I'll point out the extra healing, and that's party stuff because I put it on the cart there. I'll point out what I've learned. I'll point out that the brother whomever of St. Cuthbert is going to speak to the castellan in the morning, and that he requests an audience from us in the morning as well.
Excellent. Well done. Just to not to screw us over here, but Bill, if you've never seen the Medchemia Press role play support called Cities, if you ever do want to,
I know of it. I know of it. Yeah.
I can't recommend it highly enough as a way to generate city encounters.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Can you drop a link to that in Discord?
I will. Yes.
Yeah, I might not have seen it.
I actually had a couple. That is the author of Betrayal at Krondor created those.
Stefan Abrams, it looks
That
like,
was a
and
sweet game, too.
John Everston.
It was.
Okay.
I'm looking at my hard copy original second printing, so I'm not as cool as I
Ah, come on, Gonzalo.
I know.
What the hell, man?
I'm ashamed. Second printing was something. I'm just gonna go throw it on the fire.
Slink away, Gollum.
So there was one of those by Raymond E. Feist. Well, I mean, the whole Betrayal at Krondor thing is based on Raymond E. Feist's book, but Feist also did stuff for Medchemia Press. I had one or two Medchemia Press books, but I had to eat. So they got sold. Anyway, so night passes. Next day. Are you guys going to the chapel?
Yes.
But we're not going to get married.
But spring is here. Skies are blue. Bells will ring. Anyway. Durek, you said something about taking what is Durek doing going back over to the
so his plan is to go back to the chapel or rectory or whatever, where he had spoken to the brother, and bring these people back in the morning, or my companions back in the morning, to show the artifacts that we've recovered. My hope, additionally, is that, because of some sort of that he's spoken to the castellan, and things will be beneficial in both directions.
Okay, so he does not have a being a cleric, he can't identify, but what are you showing him as far as items? You say artifacts. What are you bringing him?
So I want to go ahead.
I was going to say the amulet that I have, which is the only thing that I kind of said I wanted to keep.
Yes.
With
the spider brooch.
Yeah, the spider amulet.
Okay.
Right, and recall that we still have 2 coffers on the treasure sheet that, as far as I know, that we haven't opened, because we opened the 1 out of the 3, right? So Gonzalo's got this jar with weird amulet, and then there's the mahogany case.
Oh, I forgot about the. Yes, that's a separate amulet, though. We have a jar.
Yeah, what we've got on the treasure sheet is a jar with a weird amulet and a mahogany case with a crystal coin-like object. And then we have 2 coffers that have been unopened.
And then the amulet that I have, that it's a golden spider shape with runes carved in an unknown language.
Right, that's not listed on here, but I remember it.
Yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
There's the one floating in the goo as well, plus the mage's amulet.
Yes.
Those are 2 separate things. But those coffers, forgive me, I don't think we have them because I don't think they could fit through the holes. Coffers tend to be huge.
Yeah, you guys were not getting these.
Okay, we left those. All right.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
No, that's cool.
Well, that's just great.
He does cast detect magic for you, and the wooden case. Yeah, that coin-like object in there is very magical. So yeah, there's a good amount of power on that. Now the brooch, the spider brooch, does not radiate any evil. The runes, he's not sure what that is, but he does tell you it will probably require a comprehend languages spell.
Walt?
I don't think I have that one. Hang on. I read magic, but I don't have languages.
Well, can he recommend anyone who might be able to do that here in town? Do we have a scribe or a translator?
I have tongues.
Let's see.
Tongues is verbal, isn't it?
If you can speak it and you can hear it, chances are you can read it. Not exclusively, but
All right, I'm getting there. Let's see. To speak the language of any creature inside the spell, whether it's racial or alignment. Yeah, it's verbal only. You're not gonna. A person would have to know what sounds to make to do that, and this is effectively as kanji. It's like if you held up Japanese writing to me and say, what does that say? I couldn't even make the noises that comprise those characters. So yeah, tongues is not going to work here. Read magic. The brooch did not detect his magic, so that's not going to either. So you the curate, the father, says, well, other than whatever is in that amber fluid, and he carefully, if you guys permit him to handle it, do you? May I?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. He takes it and he tilts it very carefully, and you can see the amulet. It doesn't just float around in there like that's that's beer or something that's amber colored. It's kind of slowly moves and clinks against the inside. So whatever in there is thick, like it has the consistency of honey. He sets it down and just kind of looks at it, pondering it, but does not speak for a moment. And then he says, before he became the castellan here at the keep, my lord was an adventurer himself, a weaver of spells of the thaumaturgical variety. Perhaps, I do not recall if he has this in his repertoire, but perhaps he can read those runes.
It can only bring him knowledge and advantage in the situation to do so.
And you had no chance to speak with him over the evening?
Oh, of this? No, I have not spoken to him about that.
What of the other things we have spoken about, friend?
Oh, about seeking an audience with him?
Indeed.
You certainly may. He bade me to send you on his way when our business was finished.
Very well. Thank you.
You are quite welcome. Okay, so what do adventurers?
I'm going to stop back by and check in with the sergeant,
Okay.
Brule Flork, and see if he has okayed, or if he's been able to get the okay on the round of barrels of ale for the platoons.
Yes, my lord. Well, I did ask the captain of the guard about that. He said we needed to keep our wits about ourselves on duty, and so he agreed only to barrels of small beer.
I respect his authority, and I respect your ability to take care of drinking that. And I said, expect it before too long.
1,000 thank you, sir. Any interactions you have with him or his immediate command will be at +30 on reaction, if you even have to roll it.
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's roll to the castellan.
Okay. So the castellan is he is up. He is going about his daily duties. He's speaking to a couple of representatives of the farmers. You're brought into the hall there to wait, but you can kind of make out that they apparently have some concerns. One of them said, there's some wretched creature, some gangrel being keeps stealing our pumpkins and chickens every now and again. I wish he would do something about it. And the other is going on about he hasn't lost any livestock. No one's been foolish enough to approach it, but as was requested by his lordship, he has seen the mesh of webs of web-like things in the trees to the west northwest of the keep when he was bringing his cart of cabbages in. Their business finished. I'm forgetting what his name would be. We'll just say that the scribe motions you forward. My lord, I present to you the adventurers. I don't believe their company has a name. And he just like, I know who they are. Please, come in.
Pardon any interruption, your lord.
No, not at all. Now is your time. I have dispensed with administrative duties to this point. What can I do for you, adventurers? You have in less than a day, for it was on the late afternoon yesterday when you arrived here. You've brought a great deal of prosperity and excitement to our sleepy little keep, one that we have not seen in a good few seasons yet. So, but now, what may I do for you?
And for that, apologies if it were unexpected, for we had no other recourse.
Not at all.
I personally think it is not so much a matter of what you can do for us, but what we may do for you and for this region.
Oh, yes.
And
go on.
Indeed. To that, I leave my companion Paul. He is better off explaining the circumstances of this situation than I am.
I lean into Durek and say, we're talking about the spider situation, right?
Yeah, we're talking about
okay.
That and everything else. Whatever you can get.
That and everything else.
Well, as you may know, some 90 to 100 slaves were freed and are currently enjoying the charity of the keep, which we are much thankful for. But we have concerns about a new culture that seemed to be providing money in exchange for slaves. They seem, on the surface, it seems like they live underground. At least their appearance would suggest a nocturnal existence, if not a subterranean one. And I say, I've taken the head of one of their clerics who fell in battle with us.
Orcs, kobolds, goblins, and the like are known to traffic in slaves, yet they are no strangers to us.
Yes, well, would you like to see what I'm talking about?
You say you have a token?
There, yeah, and so obviously he intended to say this. He would borrow it from the tavern to bring it here.
Sure. Yeah,
so I will uncover it and show it to him.
A ghastly thing. You remind me of well, that's not an important tale right now. This he taps the jar with his fingernail. This is this chap looks elven.
He does indeed, and he bore this token, and I will show him the golden spider amulet.
All right. He turns it over in his hand. He's very gingerly handing it. This thing is so well crafted, it looks like it could start crawling at any second, which ooks out everybody except one in this group. Tim, I'm looking at you. But he looks it over and says, this is almost as ghastly as that head in the jar.
It's not I'm sorry, go ahead.
So you encountered these dark elves, and one of them bore this token, and if these are a new enemy, well, we have seen none here in the Principality, at least not near the keep. I can certainly send word back to His Highness that they should prepare themselves for such beings. Are they of vasty spell knowledge? Are they of great swordsmanship? What is their mean?
Well, the double reason why I bring them up is it seems more than coincidental that, to me at least, that you are now seeing spiders infest the areas around here, and as you can see, this is a new culture of apparently adversarial nature, if not evil, who acquires slaves from the surface. I would be very surprised if the two were somehow connected.
Perhaps. He's turning the amulet over in his fingers. This ring of runes here, do you know what this means?
We don't. We were hoping that perhaps we've heard of your spellcraft ability from your days before taking leadership, and we thought perhaps you might be able to help us with that.
Well, the understanding of languages is a spell that I devote myself to remembering. So, if you will pardon me for a moment, he holds the amulet in his hands and begins to mutter. Let's see. So a minute goes by as he focuses his concentration and begins to repeat rote formulas. And Tim, you absolutely recognize this, even though you don't have the spell yourself. He is discharging a comprehend languages spell, and he passes his hand back and forth over it. Interesting. Perhaps they worship female spiders. It says, "All glory to the deaf mother."
I have no understanding of that beyond the words.
Nor do I must say.
Most spiders, the male dies quickly after mating for various reasons.
Ah, well, thank you, good mage. I was not I was not aware of the proclivities of spider kind. You have informed me greatly.
It seems like we perhaps have common purpose for us to see what is going on with the spiders that have been talked about among your people.
Oh, well, if you wish to dispatch these things, if they have any connection to this, and he literally, like thumb and forefinger, puts it back in your hand. If there's something interrelated between the two, I should hope that you would that you would find any connection. And as far as the spiders themselves, destroy them all. They're some distance off the causeway. The teamster who passed through before you said it's perhaps 50 yards off of the causeway, but that is far too close for my own good. If you'll pardon me a bit of levity about the matter, I just got this county in order, and I don't want to wish to see any giant bugs come and put it in disorder again.
Is there any evidence of poison from them?
Oh, well, they're spiders. I would expect that they are poisonous. But as far as any travelers, we have lost none. At least none of which I'm aware. We are overdue. No wagons, no farmers have reported that any livestock or loved ones have gone missing. If anyone has been taken by the spiders, then it has been by dint of a passer through falling victim to them.
I would ask for commission and your leave to take out these spiders, and perhaps ask for some support in the form of archers who may be able to help us approach this situation in a more tactical way. I'd be more than happy to pay the expense of any archers who might be able to be convinced to come along. I think perhaps unless they're in a cave or something, if they're just out in the open, we might be able to eliminate them with fire and flaming arrows.
As far as moving against them, do so without let or hindrance. You may scour them from the principality, destroy them all. Bring me no tokens or trophies, just word of their utter annihilation. The woods are a bit dry. I would ask you to restrain overly large conflagrations when dealing with the spiders.
Understood.
He looks at Walt and just kind of mouths, "Sorry."
I guess I had forgotten that we do have potential for.
But as far as dispatching archers, if you can locate the nest of the spiders, yes, I'll lend a squad or two of long bowmen for an afternoon's sally.
Much appreciated. You're too kind.
Yes, I suppose I am.
I dare say we have more pressing questions, though.
Oh, say on, good priest.
We left some individuals behind. They are presently, the squad of them, holding an entire keep with potentially a small army of barbarians at their heels, and we need to get messengers or reinforcements out to them, lest the keep we just spent quite literally weeks besieging and taking over be filled with rabble for what is now the, I believe, 4th time.
Hear, hear.
Well, say the location, mark it on a map, and I shall dispatch a courier there forthwith. What information would you have me send?
We just need somebody, I don't care who, if it's you or if it's the next lord down the line, to send a small force of a couple hundred individuals to secure that keep.
I will on this morning dispatch a courier. Henceforth to Haven Hill and beseech the prince there to organize a force to cross over into the Pomarge to secure this fortress. I believe that the prince will be most interested in extending our borders a bit to the east if it secures our flank against the Pomarge a bit better.
Well, the castle is already built. It just needs a bit of internal repair. Sorry.
All the better. All the better. Scribe, make note of all this. Take extensive notes, and I will send my communique before the sun is even in the sky.
We have, I believe, with us the not the architect, but one of the engineers.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll direct their attention to said engineer. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. I know he was pretty badly wounded.
It was Carl, I think.
Carl.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Carl is with the other folk who are at the so he's kind of sequestered off. He's not with you guys immediately.
Well, yeah. I figured I can send, he can give a more detailed report of that fortress than we can.
Okay. Alrighty. Is there aught else that I may that I may do for you? Any further questions I might answer?
It seems you have a problem with spiders. And we perhaps may be the cure.
I should rather hope so. That you can be the cure if we do, in fact, have a problem. Here, he snaps his fingers, and the scribe brings over a large vellum map that he rolls out. It's fairly small scale. The keep dominates the most of it, but he traces his finger along the causeway back to the west and says, "It's just here where it takes the northernmost turn. That is where the teamsters and travelers have said that they have seen the most, or that they have seen in the distance the threads of giant webs. So it's here."
I will kind of mark it mentally, and say,
Where he, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, you've been more than kind and lived up to your reputation as a leader who cares about his people and is willing to put blood, sweat, and tears into that effort. Is there a? Well, that's all I say. I let him.
Okay. Where he's pointing at on the map is literally like a half an hour on horseback. So it's close enough to the keep that it's got him worried, but it's far enough away that it's not. It's like not immediate threat. They don't have giant spiders crawling over the walls.
The only other thing I would say, if we're going to attempt anything like that, this is a little more like play. I'm essentially done talking to him. If he has nothing else, I think we're ready to talk within group here, maybe, unless anyone else wants to talk to him more.
Nope.
We'll take our leave, assuming he's fine with that. And once we're walking away, I will start to raise my concerns about poison and our ability to deal with poison, and ask our new mage and holder if they have some way to deal with poison.
It's most foul. So anyway, Paul.
So I guess Holder and Walt, do you have any ability to deal with that?
Deal with what? Forgive me.
Poison, like neutralizer.
Yes.
No, I don't.
I can save. I can save one person's life and merely delay the inevitable for a few others. But just as you're aware, I do keep the ability to cure disease and neutralize poison with me on all times for a spare individual as well. I don't need to prepare it. I can save you pretty much immediately.
You are a credit to your craft.
I just hate to see people die, whether good or bad.
And I hate to die of poison. I think that's it. We'll head back to the tavern and well, I mean, I guess it's still early in the day today. The only other thing that I thought that we had on the docket was attempting to find perhaps another cleric to bring along with us. If there was anybody who might be, I mean, Cuthbert is a proselytizing adventuring order, unless I'm misunderstanding.
Oh well, your Cuthbertians will proselytize if you give them even a moment. But as far as that goes, I think we could best get into it next week, as we are at the top of the hour. So you guys depart the castellan. Literally as you are leaving, you see 3 horses being brought forth. There are 3 individuals in the livery of the keep. One of them is carrying a prominent satchel. The other 2 are obviously they're guard types, and they depart very quickly. So it strikes you that the castellan, probably as good as his word, has just sent a courier to Haven Hill to inform the prince of the information regarding the events in the Pomarge. So that is where we'll leave off tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here. Next week, versus the spiders. Everybody, tune in. Thank you, everybody. You hold up the drow head from behind the bush. Come here, my spider friends. Oh God, gray walkers. No. But thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Thank you to all of my players. Thank you to everybody watching. You guys can just chill out in the green room and enjoy some schnapps and some baklava. As for myself, I'm going to dip out of here. I do not think that my co-host will be joining us tomorrow night, so we'll find something fun to do. I'm pretty good at it. Hey, maybe for Tim's sake, on my off night, I could stat up a whole brand new kind of owl bear. Peace, everybody. Good night, and I'll see you next time.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.